like I said, a boarding house. And then, you know, you may not know for sure how many people are living there. If you call me up, I'm always going to ask you, how many people do you think are living there? Some people, they know for sure that, you know, they talk to the guys in there. Yeah, you know, they said there's 20 guys in there, 30 guys in there. You know, and some of the drug rehab places are sticking people in these places too, which is another can of worms. But basically, if you have an inkling that it's going on, I'll give out my phone number when we're done here. But basically, you can call me up, and then we'll ask. Because normally, the reason why I do that is because a lot of people have had bad experiences. Because there's certain building and safety inspectors we work with, and some of the other ones are not on board with this whole thing. So there's some inspectors that if you call it just a general complaint, it may not be properly investigated. So that's why usually I have an intake. I want to get the details about what's going on, like who's in there. Or, you know, we've had them where they're being placed there. We had a big one up here with people were being sent there by another county who were trying to get rid of, you know, their riffraff from one county and sending them here. There's all kinds of different scenarios as to how this develops. So you know, absolutely, we don't want to wait until there's a homicide or anything like that. So that's basically that's how I would answer your question. Yeah.
Well, do they need a permit or don't they?
They do not need, if you're asking, they do not need a permit to do this in their house. If they stay at six people and they're running it as a sober living,
right,
there's not much we're going to be able to do with that, okay? But when they start escalating past that number, when we start talking about 9 to, we're not talking about a family, because that's what I always hear.
No.
Every time we go, yeah, I know, but see, there's certain case law where they always come in and they say, we're one big family, even though we're not related to each other. So we're all one big happy family, and they always bring up that they're being discriminated against and things like that, and I keep saying, you know, that's not the issue, it's like how many people are in there. If they kept the numbers to a rational amount, we would just say reduce the number of people in there, and then we'll leave you alone, and there's no more issue. We're not trying to get the entire thing shut down unless there's narcotic activity. Now, having said that, I file cases all the time. We have a state law that allows for the eviction of a place. So if you have people that are coming in there and they're dealing, and then they get caught dealing, then we're going to be in court trying to shut the whole place down on the basis of the drug activity. So, you know, that's kind of a separate basis of closing a place down than just the fact of how many people. If there was a lot of people we didn't arrest, we would just do it as a boarding house. But if we get people that are being arrested for narcotics, then our position is going to change basically to this, you know, this needs to be shut down. Now, having said that, also we have trouble with some judges. Right now, all these cases that we have here are going to Santa Monica because they closed all the eviction courts here in the San Fernando Valley. If anybody here is you own property and you're renting it out, you used to go to the court down in Van Nuys from everything south of there, and then they closed the court in Chatsworth. They closed the court in Van Nuys for purposes of evictions. There's still a courthouse there. But all those cases, if you're north of Roscoe, you're going to Pasadena, and if you're south of Roscoe, you're going to Santa Monica. And boy, I tell you, that's a different crowd on the judicial bench. I'm not be very careful what I say, but it's been. You know, we have new judges on these cases because the judges that we were dealing with here are not the same ones. So we have a number of cases where it's an educational thing amongst other things. It's kind of, let's leave it like this. It's kind of a challenge, especially in Santa Monica, is what we're finding. A lot of landlords are finding that the cases that they used to have from here are having great difficulty prevailing in Santa Monica for a number of reasons. But it is what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
How do you gain entry into these places before they slam the door on you? I mean, do you have to serve them with some type of...
You're talking about building and safety now. If there's a complaint, building and safety will come out and they will attempt to investigate the complaint. But even if they don't get into the house, if it's done the right way, they can still probably gather enough evidence to bring a charge up or a violation. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if you have all the people in the front and they talk to the people that are in the front as to what's going on, or you have other names, you know, there's a number of ways it can justify a violation of that. But, you know, having said that, you're right, they don't have a warrant. Now, sometimes these guys are parole, even here, they have people that are on parole and probation. They go in and they'll take a look, and then, you know, we have a number of cases that come that way. So there's a number of ways that people can.
Most of the guys that are gonna rent a bedroom with 3 other guys for $400, or, you know, they're not holding down a regular job, so chances are somebody in that house is on probation or parole. I mean, it's really.
Yeah.
If they're on probation, you get the.
Yeah, we can do a search without a warrant anytime pursuant to their, basically they agree to get out of jail early, and they give up their right to be searched at any time with or without a warrant.
Okay.
There's certain conditions that the judge puts on that, and that we have to abide by. Sometimes there's summary probation, which is really nothing, and then sometimes there's a formal probation, and that allows us usually to search what they're doing.
But one of the key things is we don't have like a roster of it, and we don't know when these houses are. We can go by and say that's weird, we get a lot of calls there. But it takes you guys calling us or sending us an email, giving us more specifics.
It's funny because I live in West Hills, but I'm thinking like everybody knows that this one house is one, but you always
Everybody
think
that lives there.
right, you always think that everybody knows, but like everybody knows that one first house from 7-Eleven from the corner of Saticoy and on Fallbrook, right? Everybody knows it.
I don't know that one. That's,
Really?
you know, one of the-
Oh man, and I can tell you right now, there's 6 people
You know
to
what,
a
don't
room.
give the address here, make sure that you get
Yeah.
whatever
You
address.
Do you have our information, give it to us. and then
I
we'll,
will give it to you, but I mean, I'm
I will,
positive.
and I'm gonna give my phone number
Because I
here,
know somebody who-
as I
Yeah.
promised. My phone number is area code 213, my name is Bill Larson,
No way, Bill Larson?
L-A-R-S-N.
No, funny like the comic. Bill Larson.
I could say the comic. I said the comic.
The cartoonist, I guess. You know, Bill Larson?
So,
Sorry.
it's 213-393-5569. Yeah.
a lot of anything building and safety related, you can always email us, and we can forward it to your council field deputy, and then they can forward it to their building
Like on
safety.
these cases though, it's better going.
Oh no, I'm talking about any other related. Yeah. I'm talking like, you got the neighbor who fixes cars on the yard, or, you know, all those nuisances. Instead of you guys maybe getting to run around trying to go through the 311 system, you can always put it in a little narrative on an email it to us, and we simply forward it to Tanya over at Councilman Englander's office, and then she assigns it to a building and safety person. And then they have to report to her on the updates on that case.
I was gonna say, what's the crime factor or the safety factor to the neighbors?
Oh, I mean, yeah, these places can be highly dangerous, and, you know, if you want to know, I can tell you, I have experienced this personally. I mean, I was attacked by a guy in my mom's home, who was staying in, not a true sober living, but a guy who was staying in what would be more like a drug flop house. So, I mean, I can tell you personally, you're talking about burglaries of the surrounding houses are very common. Car thefts and break-ins, identity theft is very common. I can't tell you how many times we've had the forgery unit, which is down at Van Nuys, comes to us with cases all the time where they find people that are getting ripped off, and then when they do the investigation back, it's coming to one of these kind of houses where a lot of the guys are doing, you know, drugs, they have methamphetamine problems and things like that. So there's a lot of crime that they can generate.
We have a lot of women living alone, or 1 and 2 women living alone, something like that. How safe are they? What's the factor there?
In terms of, you know, you're talking about a sexual assault coming out of one of these homes. I have seen that. I mean, it's not the most common problem. The most common problem that they generate is property crime, but they will generate, some of them, they're like selling drugs out of the place, and then you've got drug customers coming into the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the main, that's the main thing we see. They're not going to be necessarily like the residential burglars, but they're the guys definitely that are going to check all the cars for something to steal out of their car. And they're looking for cars to steal.
Yeah, usually when we find out about it, we're usually on it right away. And like, our experience is that most of them, or a lot of them, are on probation or on parole. And we have our unit here that's on them all the time. guys. We're actually their